brings me back to Jamal. And by the way, Donovan had averaged 39 a game for the first 6, and he scored 22 last night and went 2 of 8 from 3. Okay. Now, Jamal, he had averaged 34 a game. He was half that last night with 17 and went 1 of 6 from 3. And I told you in 3 Game 7s he's now played, he has 1 3-pointer to his name. Not good enough. So you said he'd scored 20 a game. I checked this just now. He had averaged in the fourth quarters and overtime of those first 6 games, 16 a game. Well, that's extraordinary.
Right.
16 points. Most people would take 16 for a game in the playoffs. And in those fourth quarters, 6 games and 1 overtime, I believe it was, he made 16 of 19 3-point shots.
Right.
That's preposterous.
Skip, and both guys,
What?
Donovan Mitchell made the most threes in a series in NBA history with 33. The second place was Jamal Murray with 32. They tied Steph Curry, who made 32 in the 2016 finals against the Cavs.
Okay, so Jamal had made 16 of 19 threes in 6 fourth quarters plus 1 overtime.
Right.
Last night in overtime, he scored 4 points and went 0 of 2 from 3. It's just not good enough.
Right.
The stage was too big. Throats are tightening. Pulses are pounding. It's Game 7, and this is a new deal.
And even though, Skip, it's in the bubble, you're in prime time. That's a whole different ball game.
In prime time. 9 o'clock Eastern.
They put that
earlier.
Yeah, 8:30. They put that in prime time because they saw what was going on. Like, we might get one of those.
By the way, it was on A-B.
Yes, Skip. So the reason why I look at Donovan, Skip, in the first half, he was 3 of 7 from the field. He was 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. He was 5 turnovers, -9. So the predicament that they were in, he helped aid that.
He did. In fact, he had 1 basket to his name until a minute was left in the first half.
Yes. So, Skip, that's not good enough. You're the leader. You can't have that.
No.
And especially you see Conley struggling. You see Ingles struggling. You see O'Neal struggling. You have to say, you know what, guys? I got you. I'm gonna carry this thing as long as I can until you guys find a rhythm. You can't struggle along with them and like, well, nah, I just don't have it. You expected more, Skip, but the 9 turnovers with the 1 assist, and they lost, Skip. If they had won, you could possibly give him a C because at the end of the day, the objective is to win the game. But, Skip, you have 9 turnovers with 1 assist, and you shoot 9 of 22 from the floor? I can't give you no passing grade with that one.
Okay. All right. And speaking of those turnovers, could we one more time see the 9th and last turnover and how Donovan reacted after the turnover? Because I had a big problem with this, if we could please see it. He tries to drive it right on Gary Harris, who jumps it and pushes him back to his left. Then he spins, and Gary Harris pokes the ball free. Jamal's got it. Where is Donovan Mitchell?
Laying on the ground.
He's pouting at the other end. He thinks the game is over. Kids don't do this at home because Donovan Mitchell there standing. He had his arm. I think he was still saying, give me the ball. I'm open. You have to jump up and chase the play. If you had chased the play to the other end, maybe if you got to the top of the circle, when Rudy comes up with the missed layup rebound, maybe Rudy sees you first instead of Mike Conley, and you do have the ball, and you have 2.5 seconds to dribble it 3 times and shoot a long-distance jump shot to win it.
He should have just kicked this ball. Murray should have just passed this ball to Gary Harris and let time run out because they wouldn't have been able to get it.
I told you how I felt about that. If you were sure you got it. That is Torrey Craig, who missed the layup.
Yeah,
it's Torrey Craig who missed the layup.
But I'm saying Harris was on the flank, so just pass it to him.
That. But I told you how I feel about that. If you have a 2-on-1 and you are dead solid sure that he is going to dagger dunk it, because that's going to put you up 4, then go for it.
Go for it.
But you better be sure that you got it, because you don't got it, because it's Game 7, and Torrey Craig leaves it a little short trying to lay it in off the glass.
I wouldn't want to chance that, but as you mentioned, with what we had seen from these guys in the previous, now Jamal Murray hadn't been as consistent as Donovan because there were a couple of games in there, Skip. I think games 2 and 3, he was in the teens as far as scoring. But games 4, 5, and 6, he was off the chart. Donovan has been a little bit more consistent. He scored 20 points in all the, at least 20.
Denver fell behind 3-1.
Exactly. And then he went bonkers. and for him to go bonkers and then only have 17, but he won. So Skip, you got to get a grade. You got to get a letter grade just for winning.
Yep.
But Donovan didn't play well last night. He didn't play well.
The joke was on Donovan because Joker was on the other team and he did play well.
And that was one of the reasons why I picked Utah, because I felt if Jamal Murray didn't play well, Joker could pick up the slack.
Yeah. You picked Denver, right?
Yeah, I picked Denver. Yeah, that's why I felt they could win.
Right,
It's because basically it was 2-on-1.
Yep.
It was 2-on-1.
It was. And now it's going to be like 8-on-1 or 8-on-2. I'll give you 2 because the Clippers are going to
Come on, Joe.
with them in 5.
Okay.
Yep.
In 5.
Okay,
What do you got? You got
I got to see how things play out.
See how things play out. Okay.
We
all
might
right,
sign
I'll give you some
Dikembe.
time.
Yeah.
And those two, both